Hello there, I'm Phil Smith, Principal Consultant for Higher Education here at Communications Management. I'm going to talk to you about the issue of communications with existing university students. I think with the rise in tuition fees this year, 2012-13, universities have grown increasingly concerned with the need to provide evidence of the value of the degree programmes that they're offering and also the wider student experience as well. I think, essentially the question being asked by students and their parents, of course, is why should I spend £9,000 with one university as opposed to another? And that's a tough question to answer and ultimately a difficult decision for individual students to come to as well. That question is in part being answered through various online and social network discussion forums as well. So you've got current university students talking to prospective students about their experiences, answering their questions and so on. I think given this development in how prospective students are receiving their information, the way in which universities communicate and engage effectively with their existing students, their existing customers, is becoming more and more of a priority for them. I think in our experience as an organisation, and indeed my own personal experience, thinking back to my time at university back in the 90s, universities in general don't give sufficient attention to how they're communicating with their existing students. The communications effort and the investment as well tends to be focused on the recruitment of prospective students and the continuing relationship with alumni, former students after they leave. So for those students actually spending 3, maybe 4 years at undergraduate level, there's often a communications vacuum. And what we're seeing is that communications with these existing students tends to be transactional rather than engaging. But times are changing, and universities are undoubtedly beginning to set their minds to this. You see this with, for example, recruitment of specific posts for student communications officers. And I went to the annual CASE conference in August 2012, and there was a session by Birmingham City University specifically around student communications, while other universities have come to us seeking specialist advice on this issue. I think the task of building relationships and managing effective communications with such a sizable community is undoubtedly a complex one. You've got students operating in different locations, also drawn from many different backgrounds as well. But there's no doubt that creating a culture in which students feel that they're well informed, highly engaged and totally connected with their university adds tremendous value to the student experience. And in terms of what can be achieved and what are the results from tackling this issue, ultimately such a culture will lead to improved feedback in the National Students Survey, such an important indicator for universities, greater relationships and reputation returns as well, and ultimately a more powerful base for building relationships with alumni going forward.